Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to go over a couple things before we start finishing up this swampland FF7 piece that I'm working on now. So, just wanted to kind of see where we're going since last time. I think I did like an extra live stream on Saturday. Like, it wasn't on the schedule, but I wanted to do something, especially with a couple videos that didn't really come out great. But I want to get to a couple of things. I did get a little further in FF7 yesterday. I got to Gungaga, working, doing some boss battling through that. Kind of rushed through, wanted to get to some more story elements, but I did get to that area, and it is freaking amazingly beautiful. It's probably maybe my favorite place so far. It's spectacular and in like its characterization, just amazing what they've done so far. It's really cool. I did like some of the when you go and visit Aerith visits the Zack's parents, and she didn't have the heart to tell them that she knew Zack at the time because they were wondering, and asked Aerith if they knew Zack, and she said no. So, and she kind of regrets not or regrets in some way why she didn't say yes, I know him, and da 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 da. So, but it was a interesting playthrough yesterday. But I want to get really into the live painting way quicker instead of just blabbing on way too much last time. So, for those that didn't tune in Saturday, we got quite a bit done with the swamp piece. There's a couple background things I want to do and change a little bit. I want to be able to finish this piece today, so we're hoping that we can finish this within 3 hours and go from there. So, but the next piece I'll be working on is going to be grasslands piece, and I'll get that on the next stream, hopefully Thursday. So I don't want to go on too much about what's going on in my life right now, but job-wise, it's not good. So I hope that I can keep doing this and whatnot. So I hope I can find a job here super quick. And I had some things lined up, but they fell through. I had an interview today, it just didn't go well. So, but hope we can keep doing this. I can keep doing this, and everything will be flowers and roses and jumping through fairy tale fucking fields and shit. So I'm hopefully we can keep doing this. Anyways, hate to put that on you guys after just streaming, and I know hardly anybody's watched this, but it doesn't mean that I can stop doing it, and I need to keep pushing through. So, anyways, let's get to the live stream as far as the art wise live painting. So here we go. So right now we're looking at some of the swamp area. I know if anybody joined in last time, you can kind of see what's going on here. We have our people here and here. I'm gonna make them kind of like writing on chocobos if I can. And then we got this root system in the swamp. Now this layering of rock over here, I'm not too fond of. So I may take some of that out and kind of work around that right now. So also this, I think that there comes the live painting music, some music in the background. So let's get started. There's not a lot of just say art chat about different artists, stuff like that. I'll probably talk about some of that as I continue to go, but I want to just go through this and maybe talk about some of that art stuff. And as I'm doing this, we can finish this up tonight and continue on to the next piece. And I want to start that on Flight Side Out on Thursday. So we will get this started and get going here. So right now I'm gonna take out some of this background I'm not too happy with. So I feel that its rocks are gonna be a little too high here, are just not where they need to be. So I'm gonna take out some of this and just put a couple trees in here or different things in here. So I think that's will look better overall. So maybe I'll put some rocks down here or something in the background. So maybe leave it up to our imagination, like what may be going on back here and things like that. So let's continue on with this swampland. We got this at the top of this tree to do, which is actually a lot. So we'll go through this as quick as easy as possible. Not quick and easy, but you know what I mean. Get through the stream so we can finish this up because I don't want to be on this anymore right now. So I think this 2 or 3 streams per piece is, you know, is pretty good. Maybe 2 streams. I can get pieces done, skull pieces done, like in like a couple of hours if I focus. So let's just go with this and see what comes out of it, right? So we're gonna make some tree stuff and then add background too. I might do some white-ish stuff with the background with some fog and everything. We'll see how that goes. So, but anyways, I just want to start filling things in with this background a little darker so that I can actually add some white areas and highlights of the water and reflection and some things. So, right, so and sometimes I think in the grasslands, the swamp area, there were like, am I bumping this? And then there were there were all kinds of things happening, right? There were trees coming out of the ground. There were like stone walls and things like that, and all kinds of things. So little arches and little all kinds of things. So we will attempt to duplicate some of that, but we'll see. Continue to go with what we're doing, and we'll keep adding all kinds of trees and different things. The background here, some twisted stuff. I don't want it too big back there, so we'll make it big enough here, and then what I might do is start adding some darker areas to this tree because I want it to kind of stand out as being way darker in some ways, right? And make the background be a little bit lighter. So, but we will have some, you know, light areas on it. I just want to separate that lighter areas to the darker areas a little more. So, we will work on that tonight, get that done. So, yeah, it's been a struggle job-wise trying to figure out all that fun stuff this last couple of weeks, man. I've put application after application, but you know, the problem is that I have this shows that I'm trying to attend and try to get done, and they're not very good about, you know, like helping me out as far as another career. I'm usually just like, are you going to be, I want you as a career, you want to be in this as a career? And they're like, no, I just want to work and work on my own stuff too. And I think places are less likely to do that anymore. The first couple years I started back in 2000, like when I first started, 2017 and 18 and 19, companies are more willing to do that. Now they just don't care, right? They just want you for all you have, and no days off, no nothing, no bullshit. And I'm very much not a floater by any means for work, but I need to do my thing too, man. People think companies, they want someone that's reliable but dedicated to their company, and it's hard to do even as a part-time, like full-time-ish artist type thing. So I've been trying to work around that, trying to make sense of what do I need to be doing. I need to just take a year off and just work and pay off bills, or do I keep going because there's already booths that I paid for and everything. So but yeah, that's what I'm working on now, guys, trying to figure that out. But enough of the personal life, right? Let's just focus on this. So right now I'm darting up some of this back of these roots, because I feel like they need to be a little darker, so that everything else can be a little bit lighter. So we'll keep going with that, and get my needed eraser out here. But I hope you're enjoying this guide with somebody. You know how many issues. It is my kind of like 4th or 5th video I've done, so I have edited a lot in the past, so I had some kind of idea going into here. What do I need to be doing? So, but we'll see as I continue on. I will definitely improve, but I just need some other things happen in my life to keep this going, right? So, but we will keep this going as long as we can. So if I have to move my streams to early in the early morning, then I might have to do that. So we'll see. Anyways, all right. So let's get some. Grab or just grab something. Oh well, I don't think I need it right now. All right, so let's add a lot. Let's add some lighter colors to this. And I mean lighter colors. Let's add some white. Let's see if I can start adding some things back here that separate the background from the foreground a little more. There's a little bit back there. You can hardly tell because it's just the way the lighting is back here. So, but I am adding a little bit of white to the background. I think I'll just help. It'll help with the overall contrast here. So if I could add a fogness to this and leave a little bit of something interested in the background, that that'll help separate my tree from my background. So we'll keep doing that and see where this goes, because it might end up being a really cool thing here. So I need to keep going with this, doing this thing, because it seemed to be kind of working out here. So let's see. I feel like sometimes all of us are very it's very overworked, overworked art all the time, and everyone's kind of guilty of overworking. And I'm trying not to do that here. So I hope that you guys are enjoying this, or someone has watched this and enjoyed that. So, but yeah, we'll see how this continues to go and grow and everything. So. Hopefully I can finish this tonight, and we can move on to the next piece. There's an Kate, flying different types of mediums. I've done that before: color pencil and pastels. There's similar mediums, very much so. But figure pastels a lot harder to use. Very unforgiving, right? Unless you kind of do it this way I'm doing it, where you're getting a lot of just layers that you can erase eventually, right? You can kind of get in here, do some erasing. It's still okay, and you're still leaving areas where you're like, okay, this this works, this doesn't work, and you can go back and get rid of things, add things, but I'm gonna add another root in there somewhere probably. But by adding a lighter background with the darker and having the lighter in there, I can start adding little branches, and trees, and things coming out to kind of, and it'll have that contrast, right? So it will be good for. I'm losing some of my shoreline, but that's okay. We can go back in and add some of that shoreline to it and whatnot. So that's not a problem. Just want to know where my water is, kind of. Go. Yeah, it's looking a little bit better. Not bad. And of course the fog won't get as bad as we're closer to the piece, right? So we won't go too much, adding fog too much over here. We will add some at the top here. Kind of lightening up that background a little bit. By still kind of having our trees and things pop through in a little, lighter value. So I'll go back in and I'll add some things, and it's gonna look great, guys. But I want to add this background before I start adding some trees and stuff like leaves and things. Not too much leaves, but like branches and stuff. So there's a couple leaves here and there. I'll add something to some things, right? So, but we need to get this tree figured out and the composition on this tree. How much does it go over? How much does it go up? How much does it go out and do different twists a little bit? So that'll be a whole other thing. So we will work on that a lot. So tonight, get that figured out. So, if you guys already have any like music you guys could want to suggest, if anybody's watching this, that you would rather hear than what I'm hearing now. I think I did three different music tracks on this to kind of loop it or whatever. So, but let me know if you guys are liking this music or not, or if you want me to change it. I think it's starting over again. So, anyways. Believe me, I had it way lower than this last time. So, way higher, I should say, because it was not coming through well, and it was just it was had on the wrong tracks and everything too. So, but I want to talk about a little bit of FF7, and it's what inspired me to want to do FF7 art. Well, for one, I love the game. For two, I've been doing art for quite a few years now, and I figured, why not do both, right? So, I don't know how long, I'm not sure how long I'll be doing this. I don't know, like, it's something I still like to do. Still like to create art, even though that I've done a lot of, like, had a little burnout the last couple of years, and now I'm switching out to do skulls and stuff like that, which we'll be doing Genova at some point. But I want to come in here and show you guys, share what I've experienced and my thoughts on the world and things like that. So maybe I can inspire someone else to do the same, right? So it takes a lot to get on here and kind of do your thing, man. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to, there's a lot of criticism from a lot of people, like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. Hey, you suck. Hey, this. Hey, that. So, you gotta ignore all that, man. It's hard not to, but don't worry about it too much. I think that I get carried away with the negative thoughts sometimes, and it hasn't been easy. So, but I am continue on pushing through and seeing where things go, right? So we will continue on and keep pushing through. All right, so let's go with a lighter gray here. Just come in here, start adding little things. You can't really see much, but we have to go with the darker gray. Let's see. All right. Add some twistedness to some things. And there wasn't a lot of trees in this swampland. There's a couple, there is, but there's just like mostly like roots and a lot of things like that. But there is trees kind of sticking out of the water, right? So we will add trees sticking out of the water, all kinds of things. Sometimes there was trees like back in here that were like, like swampy trees. Things are way in the back. Let's add a little bit. I don't want to use white. Maybe I should use the eraser. A little. Wherever my eraser went, there it is. So we can go in here and maybe erase some of these, highlight some of these spots real quick. Just little highlights. Not a lot, just a little bit. Let's go in here and add a little darker areas, maybe some grass or things or something. So I'm just gonna start putting things together, guys. A little bit at a time here. Especially adding little things back here, branches, stones, which I might use my kneaded eraser for to kind of carve out some stones here and there. I shouldn't have poured the background here because it's not getting some of that fog. So it's getting a little less of that. So, but let's add a little bit of light right here. A little light right there. There we go. A little bit. Slowly coming together. Okay, do some like a little bit of rocks down in here. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Alright, something you can't, I can't see too much of the background, but just think here. So we're probably blown out for you guys. It's not exactly great, but you know what? It might be a fix in post. So, color correction and whatnot. So, anyways. Maybe let's add something back in here. Root system. Roots. Root tree that's back here, maybe. It's coming out. Then I can come in and put some white over it and whatnot. So. Alright. So, question I want to ask, even though it's not chat, I want to ask, what's your favorite FF7? And I think every channel asks that, right? Why do you play FF7, right? Why do you play it? I'd like to see if anybody knows this and put a comment in the bottom, in the page on YouTube or in Twitch. Be like, okay, this is why I play FF7. This is why I play Final Fantasy. This is why I play this. This is why I play that. But the reason why I play is for the story, for the memories, and for nostalgia, for times when, when I was a kid, to go back to that, right? It was fun to go back to stuff like that, because nowadays things have changed so much. They're just not like how they used to be, and they never will be like that. So until I realize, sometimes people kind of want to be in the past and not get out of the past, and I'm very guilty of that sometimes. So, but I need to look for the future and figure some things out. So, It's one of the reasons why I play. But I also need to think about um, maybe why I continue to be in the past and why I continue to love what I love. And some people like have heartfelt like memories of like their when their brother played with them and he passed away, right? Maybe that's something that they cling on to because that was a memory, a fond memory of their childhood, and that's why they love FF7 now because it reminds me, hey, I'm with my family, I'm with my bud, I'm with my brother. We're still playing this. I'm still doing this, and you think about them all the time, right? And this is why I still do it. And this is why, da 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 da. So there's a lot of that. A lot of people like that because they've had instances in their lives where he wasn't happy, but they can, but they, but when they see this, it reminds them of their family, and their brother or sister, and it makes them happy. So this is why they do it. So I don't have any of that, right? So, um, but I have some of that, right? Not deaths or things in the family or something like that, but it's just the music and everything. I was glad I was born in the '80s. Um, very much so. So '80s are amazing. They had the best toys, some of the best music, and for sure, man. I really miss some of that. And the way the world is now, it's hard to look back and like and say it's hard not to look back, right, and say I want to be back there. But you know, we gotta move on with our lives and just something that's more exciting, like this channel, right? So hopefully things happen, people see what I'm doing, and they really enjoy it. So because I like doing this, and I hope that you like watching me create. And alright, so I'm gonna add a little bit more white to this background, and we'll get started on the tree because that's really what's important right now. I think the background obviously is, but I need to get this background going. Background, sorry, tree going, and then we'll go from there. So, let's keep adding here. And then what we'll do is when we get in here, get this done, and add roots and things to these little trees and add more stuff. I'm not liking this big old boulder back here though. I'm gonna have to kind of take that out. Add some more white. But I forget what's going on with this guy. Sorry. But anywho, this is a little process, right? You know, just keep adding, keep taking away, keep adding, keep taking away. So then we can come in here later and we can add some grass and things too in this foreground. But I think adding stuff to this background is really where things start popping, right? We need to add all kinds of things back here. All right. Got some more little branches coming out here. Some things happening. Then we can come in here and start adding. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of lighter color into this water, just a little bit. Too much. Gotta make that white enough so those guys pop out a little bit. So at the bottom. If they did not, they're just gonna sit there and blend into the background. So I can make sure that's a little light right there. So we'll either erase or I'll just throw out the little white right here to kind of and blend that in a little bit to kind of separate that a little bit. Kind of tone down some of those other values too. Let's add a little bit of white in here. Let's add a little bit here, and we're gonna take it down here a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe some of this water a little bit coming through here. Line it up a little bit, and we'll add a little bit of water around those little branches down here, so that they curve around them. So you get some kind of branch immersion into the water, like it's growing off the water and the root, like the roots are, and stuff like that. So I think that would be kind of cool to have. So we'll see how this goes. So there we go. Let's add some dark areas to this. Just a little bit of dark areas. But they don't need to be too dark or too white. There's okay. Kind of get some of this puddle in here, some water. We'll add some branches and things to that. Little twigs and little trees and little things. So we'll find some dark colors here. Let's lighten that up a little bit with some gray. I don't want to add just white, so we could add gray to this. And some of that dark is actually making little ripples and kind of almost like reflections in the ground of the water. So it's kind of cool when you start adding different things and what kind of textures things will add to it. So it's kind of cool. We'll add some dark color in here. Maybe add some a little bit of swampiness. Right. Got some shadow and things like that. We'll get in there with a darker color and we'll add a couple of shadow areas. There we go. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. Go. Doesn't look bad. Alright, so I'm gonna add those areas, little things, rocks, grass, and different things. I think I'm gonna go with the darker color here. Lighter color down here. Just a bit. Just a teeny weeny bit here. Oops, sorry guys. Alright, let's get So I'm not adding just straight black to these, all these trees and twigs and stuff in the foreground. Let's add. See if this is dark enough. It might be dark enough. So let's start adding little things here and there. I can back it up with a little bit of pencil, dark charcoal pencil. Start adding a couple little plants, different things, you know. Not big because obviously your scale is a little. The guys are a little bit bigger, I mean smaller in this piece compared to the actual game, right? So it's a little different, but we will. That's okay, right? I mean, you've got the perspective right, as much as I can, right? I think it's working. So add some trees and things. Come in here. We'll add some blacks and different things in here. Darker areas. Not quite like some of these things, but that's okay. I want to add some leaves and different stuff, but it's going to be hard to do that, make them real big, so we'll add this dark charcoal pencil, but I'm using it lightly for this grass areas. I can come in and kind of hit it so it's not so dark in some areas. The water, and then I can come up with the water and start adding some reflection and different stuff like that. Twigs, trees, grass, all kinds of stuff. And I can come in here and I can add things too. Especially in this lighter area, right? So I can add a couple twigs out here. Get rid of that light spot. It's too bright, too dark right in the edge. So come in here and lighten that up a little bit. Add some white to that. Kinda, you know, getting to where I want it. You know, it's just a matter of, well, it's, you know, matter of figuring things out. How much light you want to come through here. How much of shadow, and you just go from light to darkest. Not saying it's easy at all, but you know, it's not easy to do. I'm doing, but if you know what you're doing and all that stuff, you can follow along. Or you can follow along, and you can do whatever you want to do. But I just want to share my thoughts and my art with everybody. So. There were like a bunch of like little hills and rocks and little stuff, little things here and there. So further get back here near the bigger type leaves there are, right? And those will be straight black, right? Those are darkest spots in here, so I think that adding a couple dark branches and different things in here, I think kind of work, right? They kind of work, do their thing, but I just gotta add different things, stuff. Maybe have just like a little bit of light color coming off these leaves there. I'd like to have one guy further back than the other one. Someone's kind of leading, the other one isn't, so going to erase a little bit of this guy. I put one back a little further, not so they're not like right next to each other. So I think I'd like to do the first one up here bigger than the other guy. So we'll add him and then add the other person down here. I mean, they're both riding a chocobo, right? And we'll go there. Reflection off something of the light that's coming in. So I have to limit that. A little bit of eraser. We got some shadowing happening. We got some things happening. All kinds of stuff down there happening. So I don't know if those are even needed, those leaves, but I want to throw them in there anyways, just to have them there. I feel like I need them in some way. But I could probably, I don't know, I'll just leave them. I sometimes I'm picky about what certain things look, but right now I just don't. I just want to finish this up. Still leave. Take my time, but also I want to be able to So, all right. So now we're going to. There's a couple of things I'm seeing here that need some depth. So is that root right there needs some light to come through. So right in here was getting too black. So I want to make sure to lighten up some areas. Not bad. I mean, we've had a lot done with this little part here. So I'm gonna try and do some kind of chocobo kind of figures, guys. I'm not great at this, so figurines. Sometimes all I need is a little bit of shapes. The shapes do the talking, right? They create it. Chocobo from this angle are super difficult, right? Until you know until you got what you want to get, then they're super hard, not easy. Turn all the feathers back here. So, there we go. There's a... Not bad. It's okay. Right? We're making it happen. Put a little sword on Cloud, right? Sword on him. The other person, I'm not sure what the other person's gonna be, but we'll it could be Aerith, or it could be Tifa, or somebody. So, but kind of get an idea. Kind of close your eyes and you try to picture what's going on, right? So you try to figure out what they look like when they're walking, what they look like when they're doing their thing, right? That's not easy. So. There we go, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. Like that's pretty cool, right? So we could, whoops, sorry guys. We could go with that, and I'd be happy with that, right? What I will do is go in and soften this dark, put a little less dark on this guy. Same with this guy. Put a little white around him, kind of make him stand out a little more. Edge him out a little bit. There we go. That's cool. Alright, I'll keep bumping. I think my chair leg like just right on that. I think I may not have this chair anymore. Use this chair. I have a fold-out chair. It actually stays still, so we'll see. It's not as high, but we have to figure out if I'm going to use it now or not. After all this, so let's add a little bit of light back here, just a little bit. Let's put a little shadow on these chocobos, right? Put a little shadow on them. Let's put a little bit of shadow coming right across. See, now making this background a little lighter does help, right? It does help with some of these shadows, so they come out and you can see them. So. We'll go over them a little bit. There we go. Not bad. We'll put a little bit of light in there, so you know exactly where they're hitting and whatnot. So, and that means lighting up some areas. We'll lighten up some areas a little bit, just a little bit, right? Like that. Just adding little things in here, guys, to make the piece better. So, shadowing and stuff like that. A little adventure, right? I need a little adventure. To make things fun and interesting. We'll add a little bit of the leaves here. Things. Add some stones. Let's try to add, maybe add a couple rocks around here, just some little tiny things. May not look like much, but you know, it's little tiny things that count, little tiny things that cool chocobo stuff. Man, these are I could improve on just slightly. Bad. Work on these branches next. Try to get those done as quick as we can here. So. White in some areas here. There's some reflection of things happening in front of them. Let's add a couple little reflections off some of these little branches that are sticking out the water, right? Little things. Things you may or may not see. Too much. So these branches. I don't see branches. They said branches all the time last stream. So these things kind of stand out. So, but we're gonna go in and make these slightly darker. They stand out a little bit more. Roots down in there. All right, so let's stop on the background for right now. What we're gonna do is we're going to work on this tree, get this tree done, so we can move on with this piece because I don't even know what time it is. So it is 8:09, so we've been streaming for an hour. Okay. All right, so let me do one more dip in this white real quick. I want to make some of this over here lighter. Okay. It's not bad. All right. Because I don't want to overdo with the white. I want to make sure this is overall dark enough to where let's add some black in here. Not really liking it, so it doesn't do anything to the piece at all. So all it does is just make it look like shit. So what I'm gonna do is come in here and create that line back for that root, and we'll come in here and make this root a little bit bigger. And I'll come in here and add this darker color. Dark color. Some dark value. Sorry. I used to work with color, guys. I worked with dark values in quite some time. As far as the last couple months, it's been like working on skulls and doing things and enjoying the aspects of simplicity for me in some way is this. I've been working with other types of values for so long. It's nice to do something that I do pretty well with value wise. So but let's see how I continue to move on. But obviously the grassland piece is going to be color. This I want to do this color because, well, it's a darker area and I feel that maybe it's kind of needed for that. So, but anyways. Bring this up through here. And like these trees are going up past the other tree in the background. New one's coming up through here. So I might have to go back in here and adjust things later, but right now, isn't looking bad. So, got like some almost like shrubbery, like little things in here, right? There's a little shadow coming off the back end of that root. A couple other shadows coming back off these roots. Yeah. So, anyways, it's coming along. So, I think I'm going to now work on this tree. We'll come back to anything else I want to like touch up or fix or anything at some point, right? So I'll do it at some point, but I need to work on this tree. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do is use a lighter gray for some of this for right now, because that doesn't need to be dark up in here. So we're going to start twisting this up, kind of figuring this out here. So sometimes the lighter gray kind of helps with the background trees that are out of the distance, right? So I want to bring this out somehow, but not too far out. I want to bring it up also a little bit, because that's had structure up top. It's pretty thick here, so what I want to separate the thickness of the tree at some point up in here, because the thicker it is up top, what's thinner, like as it gets right here, it starts to thin out. So thins out a little bit right here. So I want to be able to keep that thinness throughout the rest of the piece, because the rest of the tree, because that's how things grow. They grow from the biggest from the big trunk. If it's a big trunk at the bottom, it's going to go out to a smaller one all the way to the top, right? So trees kind of grow. So, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Anyways, okay. So, so I might have to come in here and erase some things to make this a little less crazy thick. So But I do want to get this looking like it's twisted, so I did have some kind of twistedness to it happening. So we'll continue with some of that twist stuff here. Let's see what we got going on here. So I do want to do that at some point. Make this come up to here, and I don't want this to be fully twisted all the way. It has to be like gnarled a little bit too. So we'll do some gnarling, different things happening to some of the trees, right? So we'll make that work. But yeah, gnarling of the trees a little bit. And see where that kind of goes with the gnarling tree stuff. And we'll get rid of stuff if it's not going to work, right? We'll go over it. Anything that might throw us off an area that we're not liking. This kind of needs to start thinning out a little bit, so let's make that a little thinner. We might have to make this overall branch thinner. It's going to go out a little further out, so we'll make that somewhat. I want to keep this dark here a little bit, even though it's adds a little bit of whoops. Let's add maybe back in here a bit, because I feel it needs a little bit of dark. Let's go up there. If I need to add a little bit of pencil to keep my line going where I want some of this twisted tree stuff to have crevices within the twisted area. Keep those in sight, because those can easily get away from you if you're not keeping them highlighted in some way. And that'll help my tree for the twisted area. And and some of this tree would disappear in the background because it's like a twisted area that yeah, there we go. That should come up. Area there. Let's make this a little darker here. We can always fix this. It doesn't have to be that dark or that light. So we make that tree branch a little thicker. There we go. I'm gonna come along a little better, you know. Just have to apply right areas, get those twisted. Just like learning trees, again, learning what to do and how they move and shape and things like that. So, yeah. I could probably come and bring something else up into here. But we'll get to this. We'll make it happen. It's just going to take some time to kind of figure out what exactly I'm doing with this tree and how far I'm taking it, where I'm taking it. So I want to make sure that some of this gets like I said, crooked looking and all that stuff too. I don't want it to be all like bonsai tree type thing, but it's gonna have some of that for sure. But I want it to be jagged and things too. So. There, it makes that's a little bit lighter, so come in here and erase. We'll make that erase that branch. So twist it like that. So we'll bring this back a little bit. We'll replace that with some lighter color. We'll come in here and make this branch somewhat smaller. It's the right thing to do. I don't know. I mean, do I need to figure out that's not twisted, or it's too many branches, not thick enough? I may come out here and come to some other crazy, fill some of this. Maybe I need to fill more of that in. Maybe this is coming down this way a little bit and out. Doesn't need to be this dark, but you know what? Maybe it does. I feel that this branch, some of this needs to be lighter, not so in focus either, so make that little bit of out of focus back there. We'll put a little bit of dark on it, but not a lot. We'll feel that some of this twisted off on this side. Looks really, I like it a lot. So maybe it does go higher, right? Maybe it does go higher, and some of this we will use a dark color. Let's put this down here. A little bit in this. The tree will get lighter as it goes up too. Some areas we could do some lighter branches, but I'm trying to get some depth in this tree. So a lot of things will be in shadow, certain things. So let's get rid of this. We'll thin it out a little bit. And we'll bring it up and out. That. Here we go. That's a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna take some of this up out of it, right? Maybe it's has a bigger area up top, right? Reasonably, I guess, to a certain degree, because they start making big areas, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna look like crap. So you gotta have, like, as you go up, it gets smaller, right? So it does certain things in certain ways. Not every tree is the same, but there's a way they grow, and certain things you have to keep the idea of keep that in mind, and how keep improving on making trees, right? bit of light gray here. Coming together, guys. I'm really happy with so far. So we'll start adding some light grays in some areas where the branches are a little too dark, right? We'll come in here and some light gray on them. Because maybe they're pushed back to a certain degree, right? Maybe they're pushed back a little further. So, like some of these up in here can probably use some pushing back. There's one over here that I want to add to it. This one's on the other side of the tree, kind of. Right? They're going out the side of it. Coming together, coming together. Really digging it, really digging it. Sweet. Alright, so your focus is, I mean, it's there, but it's going to be here in the darker areas, but right now, it's still overall the whole right side and the upper right corner of the composition. So it is coming out really nice. I'm really happy with her right now. So just continue to put the light colors in here. Need to start making some jagged areas too, so we'll make some jagged stuff for sure in a minute. Keep doing crazy jaggedy things. Some things you just don't need to do. It just don't make sense. It don't look good with the composition. So, you gotta have negative space. You gotta have all the other space in order to make something look good. You take it all up, you're just like this big tree is just taking up all the whole area. So, even in big tree pieces, they have, like, usually it's a tree that they build, they put, and they have, like, the darker part of the tree, and another tree would be the lighter part of the tree. So, right, it's there, but it almost is like negative space, right? It's not. They work the composition to where your focus is only on the dark areas or the light areas. Everything else is super bright, and you're just focusing on the darker colors or darker areas because the sun's coming through and things. And you're just in a way where your focus by putting these darker lines up here, it's not really making my life easier, but it's helping me to know where certain things are for sure, where they need to be. So I can start adding some of these other colors, dark colors-ish, darker stuff, certain areas where they know they're needed. So. Yeah, it's kind of cool little branch right there. Add some lighter areas to this. Lighter branches here. looking a little gnarled back here, right? We have some extra branches back here. It's like creating depth and stuff, so it's kind of cool to see some branches like pushed back in the background, like right up in here in this area. So it gives it a lot of depth. I love that. I love creating that. It's just a sense of just creating so much depth in your pieces, or it's so much fun. It makes your pieces just really stand out. So really creating this world. It's really cool. See, we're getting there. We're gonna be finished before we know it. So, but I want to continue to work on this through the next for a little while at least. May do a shorter stream tonight. Let's see. I have everything hooked up to my PS5, so I can't really play on that tonight. But I have to quit the stream and come back probably. So. But anyways, I want to add a couple other darker areas to this. This back here should be ish dark, right? This is kind of coming off this main branch back here. So we'll add a couple dark colors to some of this area. The other ones we'll just leave alone, right? We'll just make a little couple areas back here where their gnarled branches are happening and things like that. So pretty good, looking pretty good. Let's add another little branch back here. Can't really see that much, which is okay. It doesn't need to be seen all that much. So I will, I think, add a little brightness right in here because the light is, I think, slightly hitting this in here in the middle. So we will go through that and figure out that shit. All right. There's a little bit of a shadow needs to go on this branch covering the rest of this tree. So we'll in here, and you got this one branch here, it's just sticking out like a sore thumb. So it's nice and all, but it's likely very distracting on top of this this contrast of this white and other lighter colors. So we're gonna take that out and do something else with it. Probably just go over it, honestly. I think it's actually too much for the piece. So what I might do is either erase it. I have to erase it with my pencil eraser. Get it out of there because it is very distracting. It's too far into the negative space, and my eye's going right to it instead of going right to the bottom area or to the tree. So see, that's way better. I like that. And some things you gotta give a glance at things like, yeah, that's bothering me. So you do that, your eye goes to certain areas, right? The areas at least where you want them to go to. So I don't know. So that's just a thing you gotta work on as you get better as an artist. So I don't get right every time. Wish I did, but it's not, it's just practice, man. Just tons and tons of practice. Alright, so we're doing actually very good right now, guys. So we should probably call this quit here soon. I think what I might do is get some might come over here and add some of these branches that separates this area. Even this right now could be just a little distracting, so it's just gotta work on, part of how that works. Just figuring it out. It's part of it. Alright, so let's make the shadow right here of this. Let's add a little bit of maybe black for right now and see how that's gonna work. Maybe we can throw it on all of this and just black that out right there and put a little bit of shadow on it. A little bit, right? But the sun's not like beaming on this place, right? I mean, it's bright and all, but maybe what it needs is not to be so bright in some areas, right? Just calm the brightness down a little bit. Making it a little darker, not so bright. Calm this down a little bit. Just a little bit of light's coming through, right? Just a little bit of light. I could darken some of this background. I really liking my chocobos. They're kind of cool, aren't they? So we're really digging what I'm creating here. So can't wait to keep going with other pieces. The hardest part is the color one. Right? That's gonna be difficult. So not that this one wasn't a challenge, right? It's because the hardest part was the tree. This tree roots and this tree part. Everything else was not too bad. Actually, the hardest part was probably actually the hardest part, probably the background. I mean, that was something I was struggling with for a while, I feel, and until I think I've somewhat nailed it, right? And there's still some spots where I'm like, okay, this is not exactly what I'm kind of looking for, but it's not bad. So I may go in with it in a day or two and kind of touch some stuff up with it, but kind of figure out exactly how much light in here I need. So let's see, I can come in here. I can kind of darken some of these branches, vines here, so they're not so light, because that's a darker area. And if I come in here with some black, I could really darken that up a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure if the pencil is actually the best option, honestly. Come in here and really darken this up. Not bad, not bad. Probably sign it on this end. So I'm gonna sign it now. It's pretty much done. There's a couple spots that I want to kind of look into figure later to kind of touch up and stuff. But what we could do is I'm working on a skull piece. I could bring that in and kind of work on some of that tonight too. And it's not a Genova piece, but I think that once I start doing more of these and stuff, we'll work on planning the next piece, and after the grasslands one. So just little things I like to kind of come in and touch up here a little bit. Like the shadow on that's pretty cool. I like the shadow on that, but rubbing your finger in there and then making everything dark and nasty. That's part of what this is, man. It's about having fun and being nasty with it, dirty with it, and having a great time. So, and knowing, where to put the darks at, your values, and it's fun too. It's fun to kind of figure puzzle out sometimes. Sometimes it's like, all right, how many times I got to redo this part, or redo this part, and that could be, a little frustrating sometimes. But you're gonna come into that all the time as an artist, and I'm so hard on myself, it's unreal. So I get that all the time when I'm doing this. I'm always really hard on myself. It's just what I do. So, but that is okay. That's okay. So, right. So one of the thing I want to do, I think, is darken up some areas. These vines, areas, and then highlight a little areas here and there. Highlight some of these branches that are getting lit up a little bit. Just a little bit. Like I said, we don't want the to be too bright here. So calm that down a little bit. Alright, well guys, I think I'm going to call it done. And we'll sign our name, put our name on it, and be done with it. So, alright. That's it. You know what? Just mess around with it for a couple more minutes. Let's add some grass and little things and shrubberies type stuff. Just have a little bit more fun with it before I go and finish it off here. Come in here and use my finger to kind of take some of those hard lines out of it. Alright, some little bit of things here and there to help with some of the foreground. Let's do a little bit of kind of fading a little bit. This is getting kind of, I feel like this is kind of getting lost in the piece a little bit. So if I put a ring on, a little darker ring on it, I feel like it won't get as lost. So that's a little better. Do I want to add any white to this? I don't think I am, honestly. I might add it later if I decide to do like hyper like bright spots, but I don't think it has any bright spots. There's not a lot of light that comes into that. I mean, maybe like a fog and things like that, but not a lot of light that comes into it, into the swamp areas. So, but I could add a little bit of white line this edge, kind of outline that a little bit from that dark. And go over it a little bit like that. Let's see. I think we're somewhat good here, guys. I can keep messing with it and keep adding a bunch of shit and a bunch of stuff. And, you know, I can do all kinds of stuff with it. But I think it comes down to it. I think start adding a bunch of shit, then you're starting to be able to work it. Things like that. So I don't think I need to go any further really with what I already have on here going. So, anyways, there we go. I think I might add a little spot here to kind of separate this thing here, that little shoreline, like little line for the water, and maybe add something, some water lightness to that. Yeah, I think that does help that area out a little bit. So, okay, let's add a little bit of line here. It's a little too much white right there. Okay. I feel like some of this darker tree stuff, the tops of the tree is actually lighter, be darker at some of the tops of this tree than the bottom of this tree. So I can either make the bottom portion darker or the top portion lighter, which I might go in and make some of this top portion maybe a little bit lighter in some areas. So just a little bit. So that some of this doesn't need to be as white. I don't want that. What I could do is come in here and add some darkness down to here, a little bit dark area, and separate some of this. Put some darker area down in here, and put some darker area down in here, maybe a little bit in there. I've gotta have some light there. If I don't have some light there, then it just doesn't look right. So I gotta put some light on top of this tree here. Then I don't have any dark depth in there, so the tree just looks flat. And I gotta add some of this stuff to it. But I want to make sure that it has enough depth and enough shit for it. So if I need to add a little bit, if I need to erase some of this, set this light in here, I will. It's not bad. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and sign it up. Just call it done dealio. I think that we have enough here to call it done. Not like some of the stuff back here, like it's either coming onto this off of this branch or this tree, or it's stuff that's coming off other trees in the background, right? That's pretty cool. I really dig some of this area. So let's go ahead and give it a nice sign, and I may go back and kind of see what needs to be lit up or darkened, and at my time. So hopefully, I won't need anything. So hopefully, it just kind of works out, and it'll be okay. I should make some chocobo tracks. Couple of chocobo tracks. Okay. Alright, here we go, guys. We're gonna do a nice sign here. $24. There we go. Signage and everything. Alright. Called a done deal. Let's work on this other one and see what it's all about here. So this is actually my pieces are about 9 by 12, guys, what I'm doing. So if anybody's interested also in a piece, just let me know. We can get that done for you, get that going for you if you want anything. So sorry, saw a little. I got squirreled. So I saw a little area that I wanted to. There's some dark area. Now I have to erase. Okay. So if anybody's interested, please let me know. I have some of this, a bunch of skulls and things on the website. I haven't done any like landscape much stuff with the black and white lately, but this was definitely called to do something like this. So I'm super happy the way this came out. Anyways, let's look on the next piece, and I can show you what I'm working on, and we'll go from there. Okay. To get a better idea of what this looks like, guys, we'll so this is kind of what it's kind of looking like here, with the branches and everything. A little darker too. You can see the wideness of the tree and everything. So this is looking like a lot of fun, right? So hell yeah, this one's done, guys. Moving on to the next one. So all right, let's put this one away. Give me a second. Look at the other. All right, so this is the piece I'm working on now. It is a skull piece. I'm working this kind of almost like a foresty type piece. So it's really cool. It has looking at some leaves and stuff at the top coming over, and I have like a little mouse sticking its head out of this top of the skull. On the bottom area is the bottom area of like a woodland like a forest. The bottom floor of a forest. So that's what I'm kind of going for with this one. So work on this one for a little while. Maybe talk about some experiences that I've had so far with some of these boss fights and stuff like that on the FF7. So the one I did last night in Gongaga, I rushed to the boss, and I should have just not rushed to the boss and stayed as late as I did. But there is just a elegance in like, I mean, all like, it's so cool looking as far as the landscape in Gongaga. It's unreal. It's really good. Really enjoyed it so far, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm just trying to I'm probably gonna go back and work on a lot of the quests and things like that. I think I was just up late and I wanted to get through to like a story. There's so much side content, guys. That's like, I feel like there's almost too much, right? At some point, I want to not worry about all this content and just go to the story. And but I'm like 60, almost 61 hours in it. And I'm just thinking Gongaga, and I haven't done all the battle arena stuff. Like, I done some of that. I didn't even go back to the golden saucer again yet. So for the date and things like that, I felt like some of that is definitely, I'm going to be doing that here soon. So, but well, we'll see how soon that will be. I don't know. So gotta find this job and all other fun stuff too. So it's been a pain in the ass, so it's been not fun at all. But this piece here, like I said, I'm doing a lot of skull pieces on my I'll post them on my website, and they're been mostly around scary and things like that. I have a couple pieces with mice in them, and they're kind of cool and cute and things and stuff. But I've been wanting to do like another forest piece with the mice and a couple other things. So this is kind of like my forest piece I want to kind of work on. So instead of doing all things scary, right, I want to do some forest things. I'm probably gonna do some imperfections in this, some roots growing out of its face, right, and things like that, and coming up through the bottoms, up to the tops of these, of the hole, and things like that. So we'll see how that works out. So right now I'm working on getting the ground level of some of this, the ground level area where the twigs and all the little critters live and things, getting that dark area in there where kind of the dark areas and I want them, and in between all these tree branches and leaves and stuff, so there's a lot of dark areas between that stuff. So that's what I'm kind of shooting for tonight, getting some of that kind of put in. So 1 second, guys, let me he is getting paid for it, like $1 or $2. He's getting paid for getting things done, and that's pretty cool. He's doing fishing, so if you want to go check out his YouTube channel, it's called Water Rat Lyle. He is doing a lot of fishing and doing a lot of catfishing and bluegill and things like that, and but you should definitely check his channel out, Water Rat Lyle. So yeah, he's a good friend of mine. So. But anyways, going back to this, trying to figure out how deep certain areas are going to go in this forest, right? How deep, how many leaves I need to have in here, covering the skull, not covering the skull. I got to have, like, composition that's like works with some of these leaves and things. So I'm going to go back through here and get these leaves kind of done a little bit better, figured out, and whatnot. So I thought about, since these are like little pieces of wood or bamboo or something flattened out, someone's cut some stuff, I want to do some overgrown areas, and then maybe do like a little stream coming through here, maybe. I don't know yet, so if I do, I'll have it come through here and come through there somehow. Like this be the stream that goes up or something, comes through here. So that's an idea, but I don't want, maybe not make it a full stream. Maybe just make it like water, some water areas that are just like occupied, like little puddles or something. But we'll see. So this is the sort of the plan, what I got going on here. So some of these areas are not going to be totally dark, but totally like blacked out. So I want to make sure that some of this has kind of a lighter area too and darker area, and that's going to be hard to achieve. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to get these leaves going in the shapes I want them to be. So get through these leaves, do all that, it'll be alright. There's a leaf here. Put it back. I may overlap that leaf, but I'll worry about that in a couple minutes. There's another area that's dark. A leaf, big leaf back here. Definitely want to make it maybe a bigger leaf over here. A way bigger leaf. And kind of oversize this area, the left side compared to the right. Let's make it way bigger, so it's not so symmetrical. And then I can come in here with this and I can start adding certain leaf areas that. Let's get this leaf in here. Much bigger leaf on that side, for sure. Let's add another leaf in here, right underneath this other one. Like another smaller one. Let's come in here and let's darken this up a little bit. This area. There's a lot that stays on this thing. I'm surprised how much charcoal or whatever pastel stays on this. I want to have like a little bit, like a little branch, a little leaf coming out of there like that. Maybe another one coming off that one around here. Connected this leaf here. It's cut off by that big one. So of course every leaf is going to be darker, it's going to be lighter, so I'm trying to figure out all that. There's a lot of layering, shadowing. My main focus is here, right? I don't want to be over here or there. Main focus is here, and main focus will be try to be on the mouse. I will kind of fade this out a little bit, do some cracking, do some kind of make sure that it's not too much in the focus, but still there. And I want the kind of focus to be is right in this mouse, right? So, but maybe on the mouse and the skull a little bit. It's kind of where I want this. So I'm not trying to put these leaves clear into the piece so they're not distracting too much. So, but I want them to come in and overlap a little bit, right? Like it's being overlapped by forest or plants in some way. So, they come in here, do a couple other ones. Nothing's final here, right? We're just adding stuff, adding placeholders, we're adding things. So let's add another leaf over here, another little one. And a little one here. Maybe there's some little spots down here with some things happening down here. And all that may not even, that may get covered over, right? But at least we know what's going on with that. Alright, so a leaf. Like there's more leaves on this side, but this leaf's kind of, takes space up too. It's kind of, you don't want it to be totally symmetrical. So, at least in my opinion, I think it looks good when it's not symmetrical like that. So, it's kind of cool. So we can go in here and we can start adding some darkness to these areas. Not totally darkness, because I don't know how much depth I'm going to have in here. I'm going to be having quite a bit, but I don't know how far some of this is going to go down, right? So, we're going to create some cutoff here at some point. The skull mouth, just kind of push that back underneath a little bit, because I don't want that one to come straight down. I want it to like kind of be there right now. So, and nothing is final. We could add, if you wanted to add like puddles or something. We could add puddles to like here. Add a bigger puddle to here. Add a small one here, a small one there. So it depends what I decide to do. The hardest part of this is getting the perspective on this. It's still, I feel that the skull is still not where I want it to be. I could have made it even pushed even under a little more, and the head kind of coming out. So I may even bring this mouse down a little bit. So maybe I'll bring it down a little further. A little opening of the skull, so that it's more into the middle of the piece. But I don't know. It's kind of I have to see what works and what doesn't work. So let's go in here and make some darker spots. Feel that making some dark. This is not black. This is like a little off black area. So I want to get some areas, especially behind the skull. I want to add some of those dark areas right behind the skull. Right, so that you know it's black. But dark back behind that skull. maybe these leaves are just peeking through over the top of the skull, right? So I want to. But sometimes you can overwork and have two focal points, and sometimes it's not good for the piece, right? So you have to think about, like, even this with the two, with my skull the way it is, and my mouse coming through, it still may not work. Maybe just two focal points fighting over each other. So what I might do is just take some of the skull and kind of darken it out a little bit and focus on more of the mouse. Or what I might decide to do is not put a mouse in there. I might try to do something different. But right now, the way this is looking, it's like this right now is the focal point where the eyes are and things like that. But it's still kind of really, my eyes are still kind of going to that, right? That shape. So I think I might be okay. So I think I'm going to continue on and so adding some dark areas, things like that. So. I come in here, erase some of this areas to make my shapes of my leaves again. Sometimes it's good to keep the shapes going so they're not getting messed up, getting confused, what they're supposed to look like. So sometimes you have to figure all that out. So, and you don't want all of them to go so far over top of the skull. Just sometimes you want just a little bit of the edge. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's good to have variety. So a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side. A couple leaves over here. Maybe that leaf's growing into that leaf. This is connecting to this, and there's like a little bit of a line here where that separates those two leaves. So, just right there. So, but it's coming along. It's kind of cool. Now we can how this kind of work with the FF7. Like, you can make up a story that this is kind of has that cool world, right? Skulls, Genova. Maybe this is a darker a darker fantasy type game or something. Maybe it's 16 or something. So, but there can be skulls and there can be stuff like that in FF7 because there is, right? Genova and different things. And people do pass away, and things remains left from distant worlds and distant events and things and war and all kinds of stuff. So, especially, I can see that Junin Harbor is like a huge place. It's like you might as well just call it your Midgar at that point. And I'm sure there's a lot of shady things going down in that place. So, but anyways, I think that trying to get our leaves going. So, but yeah, skulls and things like that, man, it could be anything inside FF7 or something like that. So, and why I pick skulls, I kind of know but don't know, and why I don't know. So I joined them. They're a smaller piece. I feel like I can get them done like within like a recent amount of time compared to my other pieces, which took me like 30 hours or 40 hours and 60 hours, and I was like, dude, like I still have those pieces. I had never sold any of them, so sold tons of prints and like canvas prints and stuff, but I never really got into selling anything like that. So it never really worked for me in that way. So but this, I've got more responses, people loving what I'm doing with skulls lately, so it's been a thing. So I've been really kind of enjoying that, and I hope everyone else is too. So, but and I wasn't enjoying it that much as far as my pastel and things. I got it was a lot of work, and I feel that this is kind of refreshing. in some way, doing something new and different. So, yeah, and it's definitely a nice refresher. So, guys, if you'd like to see some of my work too, it's on Chris McCall Art. I think I have the links in the in my description. I think there's a link in the description of this. I'm not sure if it works or not, how that works. So kind of new to Twitch and stuff like that, and YouTube in some way. But I've kind of always watched it here and there, but never really did anything much with it. So, but I feel that if you guys want to see more, definitely check it out. So chrismccallart.com. So we'll add a little bit of dark black here, right behind the skull. That'll probably be one of the darkest places, probably within the piece here. Kind of separates the skull from everything else. Of course, there'll always be darker areas, other areas too, but right behind that skull, right down the lowest part of that skull, it's gonna be dark. So keep adding things, keep adding stuff. These little circle things are kind of cool, and like I started making those the other night. Kind of remind me of rocks or pebbles or something. I might just make it into pebbles. So I think that would be kind of cool. Make those into pebbles. You don't have to totally perfectly round either. So I might, well, for sure, probably go in and change that. So, but. It's coming along. Let's see, what time is it? 9:16. Okay. I'll probably go on for another 40 more minutes, guys, or something like that. Call it night. There's people in here to talk to, because it's always some there's always some bot or something coming in here to your channels and shit. I mean, I wish I guess there's a way to like get rid of some of that, but I haven't looked too much more into what that how all that works and stuff. So we'll figure that out later. Right now, I just want to focus on making this and not worrying about who's coming in and if anybody's gonna come in at all. So watch. So, and if anybody knows also why I'm not getting my tags when I go to edit my videos, the tags are not in my videos. But when I go to put them up, like I see that I think I'm realizing now that my video doesn't say. It probably says something live painting part 4 instead of the one I want on Twitch. Oh well. Anyways, I think I am still okay with it because that's how I downloaded on there. So, but I don't know how to get a lot of things, like what it needs to be, and as far as setting my Twitch channel up, I got like the alerts on, I got all that stuff, and I learned a lot over the last month or so. But it's just trying to figuring out how this works and all that stuff. It'll take some time to get it all working down. I think it says now figured out the audio tracks, why they're not recording on separate tracks, because I'm there trying to turn the volume up on me, and then I'm turning the volume up on everything, and it's making everything all loud. So, yeah, I gotta figure that out too. So, but I did figure it out. I think this one's good to go now. So, there's settings where I need unless I make another scene, right, then I have to go into OBS and make another scene and change all what's being recorded, what's not being recorded. So, anyways. Alright, so, got a lot of the leaves down. We can go ahead and shape the leaves a little more here. want them to be too much here. I'll cut that one back a little bit. You guys hear the background music? Hope so. Go. Adding some darker areas. Get some of these leaves, more leaves shaped out. Here, kind of a couple little ones here, a little one back in there. Make that a little darker. And also just cut some of that off as much as I can. So this puts that skull a little further back underneath, farther than I want, right? So a little, that's it, kind of shapes out, look a little better. I could add something, just a smidge more to it, but I don't want to add any much more to that. We're trying to get rid of some of that, right? Just, yeah, so. So happy about finishing the other piece, guys. That's cool. The chocobos came out really good, and it was fun. So I'm glad you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, or if anybody's watching at all, enjoying some of this. But it's not gonna happen overnight for someone to come in here and just kind of watch. So let's have a friend or something that comes in, right? So a little dark in there. Kind of coming around here. I'll probably get some FF7 played tonight a little bit at least, and I gotta work on more applications, and I gotta work on paying a credit card bill and all kinds of stuff lately. So, but anyways, getting some of the branches in here, little vines that are connected to certain things here. I don't want to take them all the way down because they're kind of coming up, right? So I don't want to show all their vine, because showing all their vine it's just gonna show me putting a vine or a plant, its stem, all the way going down. It's just gonna look like the perspective is different, way off. So you gotta hide some of those branches. You gotta hide some of that in order to get on the branches, more of the stems. You gotta hide some of those stems in order to make that look like they're coming out from the shadows. So I'm just putting them down a little bit, not a lot. So just a little bit. Maybe that's the tip of the leaf there. I make that leaf a little sharper. I can come in here and sharpen it up a little bit. There we go. A little better. Little things help. A little here and there, just kind of. But do want some dark around these leaves, so it does take shape. The dark areas around the leaves and stuff, so the stems and things like that. So, but yeah, have to make a darker area in some areas, and compared to the other areas, they have to be lighter. That's what happens when you have the darkest areas down at the bottom of the grass. The ground is the darkest area, and you just got to figure out, pick and choose where in my darkest areas at, or my lighter areas. So that's for kind of you to figure out, and the artist, and to figure out where the light is coming in, where the light is like reflecting, or where the darkest part is. So right now I'm kind of going off of like what the skull is right now, right? So now the light can hit through here, but the skull is going to have like a dark area all the way around the back end of it, just barely, but it's going to, but it's going to sink down on there pretty far, right? So I'm probably going to add a little dark areas into that. So let's see. Let's come in here and let's get rid of some of this. There we go. Some of that branch, not branch, but some of that leaf. And I can come in here and get rid of some of that. And get that leaf pointed at this point. Maybe that leaf's coming in slightly different than usual, right? Or I can curve this like that and bring over the leaf on the other side of it a little bit more. And we'll make it more round. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Sometimes we're just barely, like the leaves are barely hit, right? I mean, this is barely in there, and they're kind of coming up, coming up to the light area. So I might bring some of this dark area into the skull a little bit. And that's now looks like that's looking like fucking teddy bear. I don't want to do that. It's kind of looking weird, like a teddy bear in some way. So what I might do is kind of mess with it here, figure some of this out. But the nose is looking too round, probably that's why. So if I were to go in here and erase some of the nose and kind of at least flatten it out a little bit, or straighten it out. It's a little bit better, but all right, let's keep working on this. This out here is not gonna be as dark. I'm probably gonna lighten some of this up out here, because it's not as dark back out here. So. Alright, so let me know if you guys, like I said, enjoyed me watching me do this, if it's like boring, or want to hear me talk about something different, or let me know at all. This would be great. My audio sucks, it's too low. I know I'm far away from the mic, not too far away, because it was even worse the first time I did this, as far as my setup now. I didn't even share that video because it was horrible. So, but the audio was mostly the issue. So, but yeah, you're always gonna improve. So, figure it out as we go. I have a hard time with that, I think, sometimes, and expecting myself to like be better. I'm really hard on myself, so it doesn't help a lot of the situations. A lot of anything. So Maybe just have a hard time believing in myself as much sometimes. So, but you know, I should believe in myself because I'm on here talking and doing this, and a lot of people are just so afraid of doing something like this. So, it doesn't bother me too much, especially if I'm not talking to anybody. So, but you gotta talk like there's people here. So if you don't, then you just scroll on your phone or whatever. You gotta find something that's interesting. If you're just playing games all the time, you know, it's cool and all, but you know, something has to like you have to. Maybe you have your family, some of your family come in and say hi every once in a while. Like Max doesn't do playing. You know, Maximilian does a lot of different types of videos. Like on his fighting, what he's done, he talks and he talks about things and theorizes and this for FF7. It's not all just playing video games, but and it's like he's done so much for like the fighting community and FF7 people are just like they know him. They know FF7 Rebirth. They've been following for a while. They know Maximilian, dude. Let's see. One of my favorite places or favorite channels to watch. Like he is amazing to watch. Like he's funny. Like he just is smart. You know, he's a joy to like be around as far as the stream. I never met him in person, but he's just he's like a really swell guy. So a lot of people are like can seem like they're a swell guy on camera, right? But no, I feel like Max is like the dude, man. That's what he's called, Maximilian dude. He's like the dude. He's a cool dude, a cool guy. He's like, to me, he's like one in a million guys, right? He's doing this, one of the craziest content creators, movie and streaming guys like in this world. Like you know, we all have problems, we all have things, but it seems like he's kind of got some things figured out, right? He's been doing this for a while. I'm not saying it's not easy work because it's not. So he works hard for what he does, what he does, and we go through issues. Like I'm going through fucking job issues right now, and just trying to find a job quick, or it's not good. So, but I want to come on here and at least talk about my experiences, life, or gaming, and having a great time with you guys too. Usually, you know, someone's joining up and talking and saying hi. So, but I want to be a part of the Twitch community and having a good time and doing all that stuff with other people and podcasting and theorizing. I think that would be cool. So, but you know, all that'll come in time. I love to collaborate with some people and things like that. So that would be fantastic. So, but we'll see how that goes, right? So, but we right now let's go ahead and add some stones to this. If we're gonna do like a stream or something. So let's maybe just randomly start adding things, stones and stuff like that. So we could add. I want to add not just stones for like a river or thing, but I want to add stones for ground, maybe some dead leaves or something on the ground and different things. So, and I'm just going to start making a bunch of things on the ground here, and it'll start coming alive just of shapes and objects and things, and maybe there's a branch hanging out over here or something, and but I want to get some branches happening too. I think coming into this, me making this was my expectations were like, okay, let's how am I gonna do this perspective and how am I gonna work? Can we come about creating this? So it was a lot of some iPad work for sure. It's how I came up with the idea of Procreate. And then I just, had my own reference and put it on paper. So I'm trying to figure out what works the best and go with that. So and just learning, as I go. As far as this perspective isn't easy, so I've been um, doing this enough to like get an idea of what I'm doing, but um, just figuring out all the little tiny things I have to do, and making some grass and things, and learning all kinds of stuff as I go. Right, we're always learning, always doing things like that. So, but now get some depth in here, getting some like things happening around the face. What you need to make is make marks, then start adding those darker areas into those crevices. You're already making the ground floor, right? It's not hard to start making things. You can kind of, and then erase things as you go, and maybe there's a rock on this side that's much bigger than the other rocks, all the little tiny rocks on this side. So um, it depends. Maybe you want to do some more pebbles, so we can do more pebbles in here. Like I said, I'm probably going to add a branch that goes up through his head, come around. Some vines through his nose, maybe some grass coming up around his jawline, right? So by adding all the dark colors first and all that stuff, then I can erase a lot of these things and instead of having to draw them. So, which is quite nice. So, come in here and start twisting out some of these pebble areas. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do this. I don't make the grass too high, like I don't make it too long, then it's gonna look like it's a different perspective. So I gotta get the dark areas in here and evolve them in here and make the dark spots again and areas. This is like supposed to be darker underneath this skull area, so. So I gotta keep in mind that like this out here is gonna be a lot lighter, for sure. So everything you see out here is gonna have to have some kind of light in areas. So I have to bring that light around and some of here. But it's okay if we mess up some stuff we already did. So it's just a matter of finishing up, just a matter of not really caring and just adding and then coming back. You can always come back and add more, right? There is a certain degree of how much you can add to an area, right? So you just can keep adding layers. So, yes, yay and nay. So you're just gonna have to and then figure it out as you go. So I might end up creating this leaf that way instead, because I like to have the branch coming back here. I mean, the vine or whatever coming back there, because it's more hidden and it's not straight up, and it's like way easier to carve out and work into the piece a little easier. So the other way, I feel that it's the perspective is going to be even harder. So I'm just going to keep a little easier on me right there. So. Go. So we'll light some of this back up again. Alright. What time is it, guys? We got about 20 minutes left. Here we go. Alright. Coming along, coming along. Might have some darker areas in the back. Right, and some of this should be lit up down here. It's dark down here. I feel that his eyes are almost too big in some areas. Like I could actually make them thinner, way thinner, so they're not jaw. That's much thinner. I don't know. So, let's see. Let's take this in a little more. It makes it so that the eyes are smaller, and it looks like it's going straight down instead of out from the bottom out, and it's going straight down. So that's what I'm trying to achieve a little bit. So, it's not bad. It's happening. It's doing good. So right now I think what I might do is take the top of the nose a little bit and erase some of the top of the nose so that it's now that I have a nose that's you can see more of the top of the nose instead of the under, like straight out up like this. So now you're looking at down, straight down like this. So hopefully that does help with some of that perspective. So anyways, so that's what I'm trying to achieve at some point here. So get a little cheekbone action. Go. Do that more at the top. It'd be better too, so I'm not leaving some of this bottom. Fade it out. Cool. Alright, well, less of that teeth have to show the better. Perspective and in some working order. But the jawbone needs to kind of show here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. That light down towards the ground. Have to go here with some lighter colors maybe too to get some of this light to come back through here. Maybe there's only a certain amount of light that's hitting some of these areas too, so maybe Maybe they're just not really that bright out right now. Maybe it's sort of bright out. So, but we'll get the bottom thing figured out here soon. So, but this of course this won't be what we work on Thursday, guys. I'm hoping that we work on something. Like I said, the grassland area. I've got to come up with some kind of digital composition and put it on paper, and then we can start working on that, and I can get the background started and get it going and all the fun stuff. So I gotta figure what the heck I'm gonna do at the bottom with this ground too. Like, I just don't want it to be dirt and things. I want to have some a range of something here. I could just add a bunch more leaves too, but just don't think that's. I mean, I could add a couple more leaves to some of this ground level area. But I think that would help us covering some of what I already put down. Just think that maybe I'll need some darker area to apply more leaves for shadow. But most of the leaves are here, right? This is what I'm supposed to be focusing on here. So I don't want to add too many leaves, so it's all it's I want to add just enough. So I think what I do have is probably plenty. So. I could just make this like a rock. I could just make this like a big rock here, and like a couple of things are like cement, and put a mouse down here walking, and then I could put a mouse there. But I have to do an overhead shot of the mouse in some way. So, but this may be good practice for me to do this perspective, anyways. So, I gotta do more job hunting tomorrow, for sure. That's a Wednesday. It's getting ridiculous how much time it goes into getting a certain kind of job. It's unreal. Like, especially a friend posted me about a post office job, and I was like, okay, maybe that's what I need to go to. Maybe I need to stop for a couple years and continue, or keep going and just not do shows and just do art all the time. So, but shows seems where it brings the money in. It seems to work more than anything else. So if I don't do shows, I'm just going to sit here and create art my whole life, which is fine, and not get anywhere. I feel like I need to do shows, and I already have shows lined up for this year. So it's like, all right, so what needs to happen? So I need to figure out all of that, what exactly needs to happen with all that. So, but yeah, I'll get to that and figure it out. But until then, keep looking for this job thing. I like to have a job. Yeah, I'll hire you right on the spot. You can start Monday. I was like, sweet. All right, so let's do that. But a lot of it's just like, okay, I have to go through training for 2 weeks, do this, especially the post office, right? It's not bad, but I just don't have, like, and I can't get days off between that either. So if I have shows, I don't know what kind of other job that I can get that's going to allow me to do these shows. So the one I did, I was trying to get back to, it allowed some of that, right? A lot of a leeway and things that they don't mind. Okay, that's fine. I just want you to be here and show up, but that's fine. I can do that. But I'm not gonna slack or not make sure. I'm like doing my job, but my priority is to do these shows and do the things. So when I'm at work, I'm at work. That's right. I need to focus as much as I can on that, and not gonna all the other stuff. But people want you to like be career based around their company and not just work for yourself. And I had a couple nasty just people that don't want you to succeed. They just want you to make their company succeed. And which is fine. Like, if you're dedicated to something like that, that's cool. But I'm dedicated to my craft, man. I've already spent so much money, and I've had so many people help me with getting where I am today. I don't want to let them down or myself down. So yeah, so there's a lot. So, but starting your own business, there's always a lot talking about. So it's never over. It's never. It's always working. You're doing everything, right? You're doing your advertising. You're doing this. You're doing your social media. You're doing all that stuff. So, but anyways, a little. So have you guys? I've not looked up a lot of the FF7 artists that I know a couple of them. Wrote a bunch of down and do some research on a lot of them and talk about some of them during my live streams. So I'll probably end up doing that next stream. We'll talk about a certain artist and see how that goes. And maybe that'll be some of the things we can talk about the next couple episodes after that. So let's we'll try to make that happen. I would like to see your thoughts and reactions. Maybe that'll help step up my my game and do some research and have like a script and have like sort of like a script and some ideas. So it's good to have those that going in. I always have some kind of plan going in, right? Finish a piece up, talking about what I'm doing, and then doing another piece, and then I'm always chatting about things, and I think that's good. Good for myself and good for people that want to join in and be excited for what I'm doing and what they're doing, and especially like I would love to collaborate with a couple of people, like either artists or other people doing FF7 type stuff, and maybe someone doing digital work and I want to add on to that digital work, or we can collab that way. So I'd like to do that one day. So, but who knows when. But that's something I was kind of looking forward to in the future, possibly. So, I thought that would be fun. So, anyways. Like I got some rocks going up here on this side. Coming out of here. So, we'll see how that continues to evolve. There's like a rock here or something, and there's like a rock here or something like that. I'm not sure. So maybe there's like a ledge right there, and it's like maybe it's just a bunch of like things popping up because maybe this skull slammed on the ground, or maybe someone did something and it's like making this kind of coming up out of the ground from where it was smashed, or what it was laid, and it's been there for such a long time that's it's making all kinds of different shadows and things, and right, some depth in there, right here, kind of, and then make your way back there a little bit. Kind of like that. And maybe that's part of it. We'll like tone that down a little bit. Come in here. There we go. Go. Some rocks and stuff, maybe that's what I need to do, right? Then I can continue on with leaves and do a bunch just to continue on with that. So you never know what you're gonna find when you start messing with it and figuring out exactly what you start adding, right? So. It's a lot of things happen with like rocks and things. Like there's a lot of different stuff that makes them what rocks are, right? Deformed and jagged and all over the place, imperfections and all kinds of stuff. So, which is a lot of fun to look at and how nature stacks its stuff. Sometimes it'll stack it like it'll stack it like perfectly, right? Um, and I think a lot of it, when you start creating, even FF7, like their background, like their worlds are like imperfected, right? Imperfection and different things like that in their worlds. They're really created a world that's like a nature replication of nature. It's just nature wants to do what it wants to do, right? Wants to grow out this way, wants to grow out that way, and you have to respect. And because some of that, can be dangerous and things, but I love how nature like does stuff like that. So I don't know, just think what comes to mind, I guess. All right, so that's cool. That kind of worked out. Maybe in here there's a little flat surface area here. Doesn't get a lot of light. I think it's kind of maybe dark back in here a little bit. Not totally dark, but yeah, somewhat. This goes clear out the edge of the paper, looks like. Do I want it to go off the edge of the paper? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. So, let's see. That's kind of flipped up a little bit, right? I almost feel that this could go at an angle more. Like that, and this could go to that. There we go. And make this a little darker in here, underneath that. That's kind of cool, right? Fuck yeah. Looking neat. And after we do the grasslands, we'll do Genova next after that. And hopefully from there, how things working out, and then I can start doing the next areas and stuff like that. So hoping that I can do that for you guys. So share that with everybody. So we'll see. I kind of like this this stuff, like the rocks and things. It's kind of cool. So maybe we'll add a leaf. All right, let's add a leaf right there. Good. And we'll go back. You won't see much of the stem, but it'll go back down on the ground. Won't see much of it, but it'll be there. There we go. I got some dark areas in here. Liking some of this texture in here. I think the camera's giving it some crazy texture too. It's not quite as good as what you're seeing. I think it's just like giving some of the texture away. It's like crazy. It's crazy looking cool in the camera. More so in the camera than on the. So, but it's still pretty neat. All those little circles did things, made little textures. All those erasing marks makes a different rock have a different kind of texture, right? It's pretty cool. Now I do want to add a dark line in here. Not that it probably already one it is. because this is the bottom of the whole entire like skeleton and the skull, and where the rock connects, right? So I want that to have some depth in there a little bit. Because that's super important to have that. Right, coming around there, and you can start adding a different type of value than the rocks as they come out. So you can even have them like go like at an angle like this, and start adding texture. Maybe they once were something, and now they're getting into other leaving texture, right? You could do that. You could add texture over here to stuff. So there's all kinds of things you can do with some of this. So, but you don't want to be so distracted by it either, too. So, but doing it just lightly and having, some things. But I'll eventually add some white in here and things like that, some other values. But right now, I'm really digging some of those values that I'm creating. So, sticking with what works right now. So. Maybe there's some areas where it gets super dark down inside, right? Maybe there's some, like right here's a nice crevice. That's cool. Both sides want to be the same, right? They can be different, which is nice. I really like that. Let's lighten these up a little bit. Lighten some of this up. See, I'm already creating texture as I go through all of this, right? I'm already erasing, doing things, making cool areas that are lit up more than the other areas, and mostly making that work just by highlighting some of these areas that are not in shade, not in the dark. Right, so especially this one or this one here, this one comes down to there. So, and I could blur some of that out. But maybe I want to take this all the way across. Or I can come in here and start making a different type of texture. Go. Cool. And some of this that's not erasing will just get a lighter texture, right? Some of these little details I'm adding, do I need to add them? Probably not. So I'm just, like I said, I'm not adding a lot. I'm just adding mostly erasing, right? And it's making a texture for me, which is so nice. That's cool. Not bad. I'm thinking about taking some of this out. Let's see. Let's take some of this out. Just a leaf. Take this out a little bit here. And I'll come across this a little bit. Maybe one little spot here. Or I could make that leaf come in a little more. Kind of take up some of that space. Right? Definitely want it different than this side, right? So, this leaf stem. Probably don't want to do a leaf stem on this side or this side. So I just want a leaf added and clean up some of this a little bit. Not just gonna matter too much, but at least right now. At least get my leaf where I want the edges to be, at least for now. So erase some of this, a little bit of line so it can separate each leaf. Go. Here, make these leaves here. maybe not, but let's see. I'll do a little bit of a leaf here. Back in that corner. Some of these, I don't know if they need to be carved out so much. But, trying to come along. Heck yeah. I don't know how much carved out I want these because they're really kind of pushing, you know, they're supposed to be not quite as sharp. So I will have to think about getting rid of some of the sharpness to these leaves and just to not totally like so much in focus. But let's bring this down a little bit because I feel that this will help bring the angle down some. All right. How much time we got left here? Got about, what, 10 minutes left maybe? Oh, nope, it's 20 minutes. All right, guys, we're going to quit here in 2 seconds and talk about what we're going to be doing next stream. I think I already talked about that, but I wanted to kind of emphasize. Thanks for joining, guys. We're going to stop here and might chill for a while, watch a movie or something, and get back up and look for more job stuff. So I'll take you back, guys, to just chatting scene here. All right, guys, thanks for joining up. It was a lot of fun. We've actually finished the swamp piece from FF7. Now I'm working on the skull piece here, which I'll be finishing up back at on my own time. But I'm working on a not swamplands, but a grasslands piece next Thursday. So I need to get the pastels and the colors out for that, and start working on the iPad the next day or two, or the next day. And we may end up switching the stream to Friday night. It may not give me enough time to work in between that at the time there, so I don't know what's exactly going to happen in the future. So right now, sticking to the times. Like I said, we might change on Friday to give some 2 more days to start to get ready and stuff for the next stream. So, anyways, yes, so that's the plan for Thursday. So the future, don't know. We'll just keep going at it and keep going out the pieces and figuring that out as we go. So, but I want to thank you guys for joining me. You know, like and subscribe if you have time. And if you like this video, put a comment, and I'll try to get back to that comment as quick as I can. This will go up on YouTube in the next day or so, or something like that. So, thanks you guys for joining me. Chalky Phalanges out. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.